up, y'all? Remy TV, back again with another video, back again with another reaction. And today, we're going to be reacting to Caitlin Clark and all the hate she's getting again. The woman that is making women's basketball attractive to fans around the world. She's getting hated on by the same women that were crying a few years ago saying, hey, if you guys could please just watch, we want equal pay. Even though we don't have equal viewership, we still want equal pay. Now you got a woman coming in, balling. You hating on her because she getting a bag versus understanding that this is the cash cow. We have to protect the cash cow because 4, 5, 6 years from now, it's going to be my turn. Also, right now, the amount of viewers she is garnering on a game-to-game basis is helping you. And you, Angel Reese, who nobody cares about. I'm obviously joking, but to be honest with you, I never cared about WNBA because, or even college women's basketball because of Angel Reese. Not anybody did. And you, Kennedy Carter, and you other ladies in the WNBA just don't get it. So we're going to be watching Stephen A. Smith break it down. It's kind of funny also. I love the way he breaks things down. We're going to watch Stephen A. talk about it. By the way, if this is the first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Drop a comment below. Let's get to the video.
One of the things that I brought up this morning in talking about Caitlin Clark is that some of the players, you want to use the word jealousy, fine. You want to use the word envy, fine. You want to use the word resentment. We want to play with words. That's cool. It's something. And I think that some of the ladies, not all, but some of the ladies in the WNBA are missing the point. And the point is, this girl right here is a box office attraction. And because of her box office attraction, it's generating more eyeballs to the WNBA product, therefore more revenue for the WNBA product. Don't you think y'all are going to benefit from that too? Look at the big picture. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about it this morning on my day job, First Take on ESPN every weekday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. A rising tide raises all boats. If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl, milk it. Now, it's just an opinion, albeit I believe an educated one. But this girl that comes away from comes out of college, who happens to be white, who's already making buku dollars, the maximum salary in the WNBA is $250,000. If I remember correctly, Caitlin Clark signed a $28 million endorsement deal. Well, nobody in the WNBA getting that. Nobody's gotten that yet but her. Asia Wilson is a superstar in the NBA, in the WNBA. She's a two-time champion. This girl is legit. She's the real deal. And those kind of endorsements and all of that stuff ain't come her way, even though some has come away. Flaja Johnson out of LSU is going to get her bag. She already got NIL deals. She's also a hip-hop artist. We're seeing women get shine. We're seeing their shine elevate. It's deserving. It's long overdue. But the fact is, it's long overdue. And because it's long overdue, it begs the question, why the hell didn't it arrive earlier? Because you didn't have Caitlin Clark earlier. Now, what's the difference between her and a Diana Taurasi or a Sue Bird or Brianna Stewart or somebody else or UNESCO or somebody? Y'all talk about that. The fact of the matter is, the kind of stuff that's happening and has been happening over the last few months is because of Caitlin Clark. I got some of the stats in front of me to validate it. Because you see, I bring receipts. And I'll get to why I'm really pissed off in a few minutes. WNBA Draft 2024 drew 2.446 million viewers to ESPN on Monday night, making it the most watched draft in WNBA history. Who's the number one overall pick?
I actually watched that draft. Now ask me, when's the last time I watched a WNBA draft? Never. Until Caitlin Clark showed up.
Huh, Aaron? Who's the number one overall pick? Say it louder. Caitlin Clark. The number one overall pick. This is coincidence, huh? It's just coincidence, huh? Of course it's not. Highest rated draft in history because of Caitlin Clark. WNBA TV ratings for this season. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know it skyrocketed? ABC announced it had its most viewed opening weekend doubleheader ever, with 2 games combining to average 1.5 million viewers. That marks a 143% increase from a WNBA doubleheader on ABC a year ago. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? Well, you know it now. Last stat, just to throw this out there. Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever has been involved in 3, now mind you, the same Indiana team that started out 1-7. The same Indiana team that lost their first 3 of their four games of the season. The same Indiana Fever that has the second worst record in WNBA basketball right now. The only team worse than them in the entire league is the Washington Mystics, who are winless in 8 games. The second worst team in the league is the Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark. Did you know that the Fever has been involved in 3 of the 4 TV games that have garnered 1.3 million average viewers this season? Entering this past weekend. These are the most watched WNBA games. Are you ready for this? In over 2 decades. The Indiana Fever, 2-9. By the way, Indiana's a small market. It ain't New York City, ain't LA, ain't Chicago. It's not the Sky, it's not the Liberty, it's not the Sparks. We're talking about the Indiana Fever, led by a girl that was playing at Iowa. It's producing the most watched WNBA games in over 2 decades. What does that tell you? That tells you that before Caitlin Clark came along, it wasn't nearly as popular. It doesn't mean it wasn't growing in popularity over the last 2 to 3 years. But 3 years ago, WNBA was an afterthought. A little bit less than that, there were thoughts of this team being defunct and going away. Nobody cared. And I don't mean that literally. I mean by and large. And I'm going to say something that was very unpopular then. It'll be unpopular now, but I don't give a damn because it's a fact. Where are the ladies? The sport, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about in the past when it wasn't as popular. The men have their sports. Do you know why men's sports became exponentially more popular? Because of women. It was more women watching NBA games. It was more women watching NFL games. That's how it became more popular. Well, ladies, if you help the NFL get more popular and you help the NBA get more popular, how come you didn't help the WNBA get more popular until recently? You did that. The men are the men. But the women rule. When women support you, you win. Everything shows that. It happens in sports. It happens in business. It happens in television. When women watching you, when women are listening to you, you win. Every superstar you could possibly fathom got it good with the ladies. The ladies support them. I don't care who you pick. Pick a superstar. Pick a mega superstar and tell me where they're lacking female support. 25 to 54 demographic, 18 to 34 demographic. The list goes on and on. When the women support you, you win. You even win elections. You don't win elections because the men support you. For the most part, from what I've been told, you win it when the women come out and support you. Women know this. So why was the WNBA not popular all of these years? So when I go on national television and I bring up jealousy, envy, resentment, or whatever, I'm not saying it's not justified. If you are a WNBA player and you resent Caitlin Clark, it makes perfect sense. Because she's white and she's the golden girl that's considered the marketing savior for the sport. Yes, they were talking about chartered flights before she ever came along and opened her mouth. But shortly after Caitlin Clark opened her mouth, you had chartered flights. And you ain't have it in 2 decades. She's got that kind of influence, that kind of power. I wasn't trying to say that women, black, white, and everything in between associated with the WNBA was wrong and shouldn't feel resentment after all that hard work you put in to pound the pavement and to be the great players that you are and the great basketball ambassadors that you are. What you've done for this sport, of course you should feel resentful. Of course you should. What I'm saying is don't be blind. There's an opening. Exploit it. Rather than be resentful, envious, jealous, whatever word is applicable, notice the opening. Caitlin Clark is bringing more attention. When you get on the court with her and you perform, and somehow, some way, you'll find a way to attach yourself to that level of magnetism that she surely has. Who knows what could be out there for you? And if suddenly the maximum salary goes from $250,000 to $450,000, and suddenly you're on chartered jets instead of commercial flights, and suddenly you're maximizing the potential of your name, image, and likeness, what do you care? At the end of the day, the rising tide lifts all boats. And I'm able to get personal about it. How many times did I tell y'all when ESPN signed Pat McAfee, nobody was happier than me? Shannon Sharp did, and he getting his shine. Nobody's happier than me. Ryan Clark got a new deal. Nobody's happier than me. Troy Aikman got a deal. Joe Buck got a deal. Kirk Herbstreit got a deal. Tom Brady got a deal. Tony Romo got his deal. Because they're setting the market. Why do you think I've had the smile on my face all of these months? Because I believe it's my turn. Has nothing to do with Disney. Has nothing to do with ESPN. It has everything to do with the industry. If I'm an NBA player,
from my perspective, the reason why they are hating on Caitlin Clark is because she's white. That's it. Let's stop dancing around this thing. The reason why they're hating on her is because she's white and she's straight. That's the 2 worst things you could be. 2 worst things you could be in the WNBA right now. Is you straight and you white and you killing like this? Them girls gonna hate you. They gonna chew you up. They gonna chew you alive. And that's what we're seeing. This woman is actually building up the game, helping the game go to a different level. But you have some women who are just so resentful, they can't let it out of their system. They just have to say certain things about her. They don't even know her, but they have to say it. Competing is different. Now, on the court, you should go out there and compete and kill her. You got to have that killer mentality. If you want to go after her, do that on the court. But outside, in the media, on social media, why would you tear that down? That is the golden goose. That is the cash cow. Why would you try to discredit what she is doing for your sport? It is absolutely stupid. You're sabotaging the same sport that you're praying and hoping that people watch, the same sport that nobody cared about, the same sport that was subsidized by the NBA because you're not making any money. She's finally bringing the advertisers. She's finally bringing in the viewers. She's finally bringing in the ticket sales. She's finally bringing in the jersey sales. She's bringing all that. Sponsorships. You name it, she's bringing it. And you're angry because it's her. And you're angry that it's not you. That's just dumb. That's stupid. Because at the end of the day, if you end up hurting Caitlin Clark, who is the golden goose of the WNBA right now, you're hurting yourself. Let's put it to you that way. You're hurting your own pockets. She got a Nike deal. A'ja Wilson got a Nike deal. Some will say, well, why didn't they give it to A'ja Wilson a few years ago? Because nobody gave a damn. Let's be honest. The reason people in the past, one of the reasons, let's put it to you this way. One of the reasons people didn't watch in the past is because they would say, hey, the WNBA is not as aesthetically pleasing for me to watch the game. Then it went from that to, man, these women are so masculine on the court. Nobody wants to watch it. I'm just going to watch the NBA. If I'm going to watch the WNBA to see a bunch of masculine women running around, I'm going to just watch the NBA. Then it was because the women just started to complain and say that they deserved more than they deserved at the point because the market rewards you. The market does that. The market rewards you for where you are as a business. Anyways, they were complaining so much, it turned people off. Now you get Caitlin Clark, who's bringing the viewership, who's bringing the audience. You're doing the same thing. You're sabotaging your own league. This absolutely makes no sense. I didn't even say that word. I didn't even say that right. This makes absolutely no sense. How about that? Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment below. Caitlin Clark is the best thing that's ever happened to the WNBA. And some of these women who we don't even know and care about are just hating on the wrong thing. You're hating on the wrong thing. You should obviously go after her on the court. But off the court, we got to prop her up. She got a Nike deal. Guess what y'all going to get next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? More Nike deals.